Hey everyone. Namaste to you on this day. This week in the studio, on the mat, in classes, we are exploring the idea of embodiment. This is a word now more than ever before, especially in our social media culture. We see this word embodiment all the time. In the realm of spiritual work, I see it constantly. People call themselves embodiment coaches, embodiment healers. This is a word that's much more present at the top of our lips than ever has been before. And the exploration this week is, what does that truly mean to be embodied? And I had this conversation with someone on the phone, which is what sparked this week's message. And we were talking about yoga. And this is someone I was talking to that is brand spanking new, rarely done any yoga at all, has a very surface level of understanding of yoga. And she said to me, which is something I hear all the time and have heard for over a decade, oh, I had no idea yoga was such a spiritual practice. And it totally is. But what was really important in this particular moment to acknowledge is that it's also a physical practice. So her idea, thinking, feeling wasn't wrong. And that really this is the urging and the encouragement from deep within ourselves and truly from our practice of yoga, from this path, is a calling forward into a state of deepening, a state of more relationship to, an acknowledgement of how we live in a more embodied way. So from this example, yoga absolutely does have aspects of it. When you do a yoga class in a yoga studio, you do a small piece of the grand whole. You do a yoga class, which is filled with postures, and you move through that experience with a group full of people, most likely. And in that particular moment, yoga is physical. That particular expression of yoga is physical. But yoga itself, this whole profound path, is calling us forward into a more aligned, unified, and embodied state. So, what it means to be embodied is to acknowledge that you yourself aren't just one thing. Just like yoga itself is not just physical, it is a spiritual practice. But it also has components where it is a physical practice. And when we do breath work, it is an energetic practice. And when we meditate, it can seem like it is a mental practice. But to truly be embodied means that we see ourselves, we see this moment not as just one isolated thing, but we see it and we call forward all of it into one moment, living and existing in harmony, that it's all things. So to really embody yoga is to embrace and call forward all parts of what's known to be available as a part of the practice. To not just isolate and just do yoga postures in classes and call it yoga, but to invite in and embody all aspects of the practice that's offered, the path that's before us. And when we do yoga, it is asking us, urging us to embody, to find a state of embodiment, meaning that we are not neglecting or forsaking any one particular part of ourselves. That to be embodied means that we acknowledge, we see all of ourself, and we call it forward into the moment. To live from a fully aligned and embodied place means that we're not ignoring a part of ourselves. We're not forsaking a part of ourselves. We are living right here, right now, as uncomfortable as it might be sometimes, in our whole, complete, fullest essence. That we aren't just one thing, we are all of it. And to be embodied means that we show up in that moment existing from all parts of ourself. So I hope you can find time to really investigate, how are you showing up? Are you embodied? And if not, is there a part of yourself that you can call forward into that moment and live fully from that place as well? Love and blessings to each of you. I look forward to seeing you on the mat, online, in the studio. If you need anything, reach out. It's a joy and an honor to serve you all. Be well, everyone.